It's time for America Outdoors Radio, the show that covers the outdoor scene across the U.S. of A. and the entire continent. Fishing, hunting, conservation, outdoor recreation, and great destinations. We cover it all every week. It's your country, your outdoors. Let's explore it together with your host, John Kruse.
Welcome to the show. The Super Bowl of professional bass fishing is happening in Knoxville, Tennessee, along a stretch of the Tennessee River. That would be the Bassmaster Classic, going off from March 12th through the 15th. I got to attend the Classic a few years ago in Texas, and I've got to tell you, it is definitely something to experience. So if you're anywhere near Knoxville, make plans to go. Attend not just the weigh-ins and the blast-offs, but also the expo that they have there too. It's basically a big sportsman show that's dedicated to bass fishing and warm water fishing in general. This week on the show, we've got some great guests for you. In just a couple of minutes, you're going to hear from Tessa Frost. She's the executive director of the Southern Southeast Regional Aquaculture Association, known as SARA for short, and they are all about raising hatchery salmon that are released into the ocean for anglers to catch. We're not just talking about recreational anglers here. We're also talking about commercial fishermen and subsistence anglers too. They play a pivotal role in sustaining Southeast Alaska's fisheries. After that, you're going to hear from Jason Fowler. He is the man behind Fun Guys, and he makes glasses that at first glance look like blue shaded polarized sunglasses, but they're not. They're not polarized. As a matter of fact, these are special glasses that help you detect mushrooms, shed antlers, and other things you may find on the forest floor. Can't wait for Justin to tell you more about him. He's also offering a discount code where you buy one and you get the second one for half off. Just use the code RADIO when you order. After we talk to Jason, we're talking to David DeCourt. He is the owner of Milton Lake Lodge. It's located in Northern Saskatchewan. And if you want to go to a remote lodge or outpost camp and go fishing for big toothy pike, for nice-sized lake trout, and really nice-sized grayling, this is the place for you. We are talking about a remote fly-in Canada fishing experience that I think you're going to love. Our final guest of the day, that would be Mike Matthews. Well, we've got another British Columbia lodge to tell you about. This one is Joe's Salmon Lodge. They offer some incredible fishing. The difference is this is a do-it-yourself fishing experience. Having said that, it looks like a lot of fun, and I think you're going to want to definitely stick around for the end of the show to hear more, not just about the fishing at Joe's Salmon Lodge, but also about an end-of-season salmon tournament they're putting on as well for a reduced price and the chance at some good cash prizes. Before we get into all this, though, let's check in with our first guest of the day. Next up on America Outdoors Radio, we are heading to the last frontier, Alaska, and we're actually heading towards southeast Alaska, Ketchikan to be exact. That's where you're going to find Tessa Frost. She's the executive director of the Southern Southeast Regional Aquaculture Association. Tessa, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
We're going to refer to this as either SSRAA or just Sarah, if that's all right with you.
Yes, we go by Sarah here in Ketchikan.
All right, so why don't you tell our listeners, we've got some in Alaska, especially in Anchorage and in the oiled fields north towards Prudhoe, but what is Sarah all about and what's your mission?
Yeah, so Sarah is a private nonprofit hatchery, and our mission is to enhance and rehabilitate salmon production in southern southeast Alaska to the optimum social and economic benefit of the salmon user. So what that means is that we're here to make salmon for everyone. We're governed by a 21-member board that consists of representatives from the commercial fishing fleet. Down here in Southeast, that includes gillnet, seine, and trollers. But we also have representatives from the sport fishing industry, as well as processors, subsistence users, native corporations, the Chamber of Commerce, municipalities, and public at large. So they're the ones that make the decisions on what fish we're going to release and where we want to release them.
So how many hatcheries do you operate and how many streams or ocean areas?
Oh, goodness. Yes. So we're responsible for releasing fish from Ketchikan to Petersburg, which is about half of the southern panhandle of Alaska. So our operating range is quite large. We have 6 hatcheries and about 12 release sites in those areas, and we release chum, Chinook, and coho salmon.
Now, I understand your hatchery fish program is actually funded by commercial fishermen and women, but it also benefits sport anglers and subsistence anglers too, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And so we have 3 main funding sources. The first is actually salmon revenue generated through cost recovery, and that's where we actually catch and then sell our own fish to pay for our operations. And that pays for about 80% of our budget. And then the next piece comes from what you were just referencing, which is the salmon enhancement tax. And what that is a self-imposed tax that the fishermen place on themselves. In Southeast Alaska, it's 3%. So 3% of the money that fishermen make from selling their fish is by the state of Alaska and then redistributed to the Regional Hatchery Association in the area. So in southern Southeast Alaska, that's SARA, and then there's several regional associations throughout the state. And then we also do get some money from the Alaska Department of Fish and Game, the Sport Fish Division, that helps to fund our Chinook salmon program, and those are caught by sport fishermen as well as the troll fleet mainly.
Now, I understand the meeting coming up this month. Is this meeting potentially going to affect some of your funding?
Yeah, so the Alaska Board of Fish meets on a rotational basis, and every 3 years there's a statewide meeting, which is coming up in a couple weeks up in Anchorage. I say up because Ketchikan is the southernmost city in Alaska. So there's a few proposals on there that the hatcheries are paying attention to. One of them is to reduce our chum salmon release by about 25%. And if that were to happen, then we would take a big cut in the revenue that we generate through chum salmon cost recovery, because chum salmon are actually pretty inexpensive to make due to the short amount of time that they spend in freshwater. And so we use that money to pay for our coho and Chinook programs because those fish are just more expensive to make due to their longer freshwater residence time. We hold them in freshwater and feed them for about a year before we release them. So it just costs more to feed them during that time compared to chum salmon. So if this proposal does go through, then we are going to have to reduce our coho and Chinook program to make up for that loss in revenue.
Again, we've got listeners way up north in Alaska by Prudhoe Bay. We've got a whole bunch of listeners tuning in on KBYR AM 700 out of Anchorage. And we have listeners that just like to go fish in Alaska, whether it be do-it-yourself trips or on charter trips. Is there anything they can do to try to tilt this meeting in your favor?
I think that the biggest thing people can do is just try and educate themselves on to what's actually happening in Alaska and to not paint all of us with a really broad stroke of, all these are bad, because unfortunately the comment period for these proposals closed yesterday. If people are in Alaska and they want their voice to be heard, they can come to the meeting in Anchorage, starts on March 17th, and they can actually submit public testimony. Every person is allowed up to 3 minutes to talk to the Board of Fish directly, and it's something about Alaska that makes our program so unique, is that your voice is heard. You do have a chance to tell the fish just how important to you. But like I said, the other thing is to just educate yourself. There's a lot of misinformation out there about the, quote, detrimental effects that hatchery fish are having on wild streams. And when you look at the data, it just doesn't support that.
Tessa, thanks so much for this information. Would you mind coming back next week so we can get more in depth about hatchery operations and whether or not the fish you raise in hatcheries impact or dilute the genetic pool when it comes to wild fish?
Absolutely. This is a very important topic with lots of good data to support what we're seeing out there.
All right, folks, we'll definitely tune in again next weekend during our opening segment to hear more about hatchery versus wild fish in the waters of Southeast Alaska. You'll hear it only here on America Outdoors Radio. Thanks, Tessa.
Thank you.
This portion of the show is brought to you by our friends at Henry Repeating Arms, and they've got something brand new out. It is the Lever Action Supreme Rifle, and it takes lever action rifles to a whole new level. They have completely reinvented the lever action rifle here. For example, it actually comes with either a 5-round magazine to comply with certain state laws, or an AR-style magazine that will hold a whole bunch more ammunition. There's brand new, innovative iron sights, and it's also really easy to put a red dot or compact scope on top of it, too. It's lightweight, and it comes in 223, 5.56, and 300 blackout calibers with more to come. You can find out more about the Lever Action Supreme Rifle from Henry Repeating Arms, made right here in America, by going to henryusa.com. That's henryusa.com. Check out the Lever Action Supreme and look for a dealer near you.
Looking to reel in the marketing opportunity of a lifetime? Then set the hook, because we've got it right here. America Outdoors Radio has sponsorships available, and we offer an affordable platform to reach thousands of listeners interested in fishing, hunting, and the outdoors. Find out more by contacting host John Kruse through his website at americaoutdoorsradio.com. That's americaoutdoorsradio.com. But hurry, if you wait too long, this big opportunity might just get away. That's americaoutdoorsradio.com.
That's the sound you hear when a fish hits the new Sonic bait fish from Max Lure Company. This metal lure can be cast, trolled, or jigged, and will catch just about anything that swims in the sea, the river, or the lake. The Sonic bait fish has a unique vibration and flutter that can be rigged in 7 different ways. With all sorts of eye-catching colors and weights available, you'll be reaching for the Sonic bait fish as your go-to lure. It's the Sonic bait fish. And that's another fish on, only from Max Lure Company.
You're back in with America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Kruse. We've got more audio for you from the Pacific Northwest Sportsman Show in Portland, Oregon. It's the second biggest show in the entire nation, with some 800 exhibitors, and it attracts exhibitors from all over the country. One of those is Justin Fowler. He is the president of Fun Guys, and he has some very unique glasses that, if you spend time in the woods, especially in the spring, you're going to want to have. Justin, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having us.
So on your poster here, it says Fun Guys are used primarily for mushroom hunting and shed hunting. Tell us a little bit about what they do.
So Fun Guys were developed for spotting items on the ground. So we manipulate color, increase depth perception, and enhance clarity, making things that are on the ground easier to spot. We created them from morel mushrooms, as I'm an avid morel forager since the time I was a young kid. Once we launched them, a lot of people started using them for antler sheds, and they went viral through the shed hunting community. Now we have people using them for arrowheads, seashells, sand dollars, rocks, agates, minerals, clam digging, many different things just for looking at spotting items on the ground.
So these ground spotting glasses, they have a blue hue to them. How do they work exactly?
So the number one thing they do is they increase depth perception. I spent 8 years working on a lens. They are non-polarized. They're not polarized on purpose, because polarization, the advantage to them is they decrease glare. The disadvantage to a polarized lens is they decrease depth perception. A polarized lens is the last thing you want to use when you're trying to spot items on the ground, such as sheds or mushrooms, because it makes the forest ground clutter a lot more. Our lenses increase depth perception, which kind of stagger everything you see on the ground, thereby making things easier to spot.
Where's home for you, and how did you even come up with the concept of this?
So I had worked on a patent for a welding shield about 25 years ago, and I teach some morel classes back in Pennsylvania. Our home base is southwestern Pennsylvania, and in taking people out, morels are very difficult to spot amongst the leaf debris and the clutter on the forest floor, and you would put some of these people that have never found one within 10 feet and say, okay, they're right here, and they still wouldn't be able to spot them. So I knew that with some color manipulation and with some increased depth perception and added clarity, I could work on it and develop a lens that would help spot these things more easily.
What is the secret to your lenses that makes this work?
So that's our proprietary information, so we don't give that out, but it is a very unique lens, and as I said, I spent 8 years working on it.
Okay, that's more than fair. I get it completely. You don't want copycats, that's for sure. So the mushroom hunting you explained, how does it work for shed hunting?
So it works the same way in the respect that our lens was designed to enhance the common colors of morels, which are light yellows, light whites, dull whites, lightish gray colors, light tans. And so it makes a perfect match that the antlers being in that same color spectrum of the light yellows, light whites, kind of dull tan colors, it was just a natural fit that it helps make them stand out a lot easier as well.
I understand you were at a show in Iowa and you just knocked them dead because it was all about deer sheds and antlers, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Iowa Deer Classic is a great show. It's in Des Moines, Iowa, the beginning of every March. It's a fabulous show. You know, we have a lot of people in the beginning that are skeptical about our lenses, and it's similar to, you know, if you took way back in time and said, I had these lenses that would help you see fish better underwater, you know, you would think everyone's pulling your chain until you tried on your first pair of polarized glasses and looked into water and saw some fish deeper under the surface. Our glasses are a lot the same in that people in the beginning are quite skeptical, but we do offer a money-back guarantee. Everyone's welcome to take our lenses out into the woods, check them out for themselves, use them in your own surroundings, your own environment. And if you're not happy, you can return them and get a refund, because the best thing is to go out there, and seeing is believing.
How many refund requests do you get a year?
Very few. We have had less than 50 return in the history of Fungi's, which is 6 years old. A lot of times we get emails from people that say that, you know, I'm red-green colorblind, or I'm a certain colorblind and I have issues. Well, your lenses work for us. And we tell everyone the same thing. You know, everyone sees color and depth a little bit differently. It's best for you just to try them for yourself, and you're welcome to return them and get your money back if you're not completely happy.
I'll tell you what, that low return rate is a testament to what you have here. Now, I understand that law enforcement is also using these. In what context?
Yeah, so it was really wild. It was one of the craziest emails we'd ever got to our company. We had a special agent from the Bureau of Investigations in Tennessee that had reached out to us, and they were searching for a murder victim, and they ended up using our lenses to find a cadaver bone that they had been searching for this shallow grave. So once that happened, the word kind of spread throughout the law enforcement ranks, and we now have multiple law enforcement agencies using us for cadaver bone recovery and also for evidence discovery, like on the side of the road and things like that.
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. You know, these are really good-looking glasses. They're very comfortable to wear. You're absolutely right. They increase depth perception in an amazing way. How much do they cost?
So all of our glasses are $89.99. We do run various specials, so keep an eye out on social media and on our website for various discount codes. All of our glasses have a lifetime warranty. That's no questions asked. Whether you run them over with your tractor, sit on them, anything gets scratched, broken, we replace them completely for free.
All right. And now, folks can buy them on your website at funguys.com. That's FUNGEYES.com, correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Where else can they buy them?
We are carried in every Shields location across the country. We also have multiple smaller mom-and-pop type shops, archery shops, various places around the country you can find them.
How did you get into Shields? That is a big sportsman's group. Not an easy thing to do.
No, it was really organic and crazy how it happened. We just were doing a show, and we randomly had a regional manager from Shields that had purchased a pair of glasses at our booth. We had no idea who they were. We ended up getting a follow-up email like on a Monday morning after the show, and the guy said who he was and said that he went out and found more sheds that weekend than he had ever found, and he asked us if we'd be interested in putting them in a test store in Iowa. We did that. They sold extremely well, and then they reached out to us to see from corporate if we'd be interested in putting them in every store across the country.
Fantastic. That is a great story for any small businessman, to be sure. And oh, by the way, folks, Justin is offering a special deal for you as an America Outdoors Radio listener. You can buy one of these Fun Guy glasses and get another one for half off. How do you do it? Very simple. When you purchase through funguys.com, just use the discount code RADIO. Again, the discount code is RADIO. You can get one, get the second one half off. That way, if you're going out with a buddy or with your spouse or with your partner, both of you are going to have these glasses, and it's going to cost you less to do so. Again, if you're after some more successful mushroom hunting or shed hunting, then go to funguys.com and use the promo code RADIO to get half off after you buy one. That's buy one, get the second half off. All right, so look for Fun Guys sunglasses at a Shield store near you. If you're in the Midwest or the north part of the Midwest, you're definitely going to find some there. Otherwise, go to the website. It's funguys.com. Again, that's FUNGEYES, funguys.com. Get these glasses today. It's going to change your mushroom hunting and your shed hunting. You're going to be a lot more successful out there in the woods and in the field. Justin, thanks for sharing this with us today on America Outdoors Radio.
Thanks so much for having us. Appreciate it and love your show.
And as we leave, let's give you a reminder about that promo code. Just use the promo code RADIO when you order. And after you buy one pair of Fun Guys sunglasses, you'll get the second one for half off. Quite a deal. Look for it at funguys.com.
Ready to step up to a quality-built rifle or shotgun that's a true classic? Check out Henry Repeating Arms, American-made. There's over 200 models to choose from in a variety of finishes and calibers for hunters and target shooters. Many of these are lever-action models with a look right out of the Old West. Don't be deceived, though. Henry Repeating Arms are modern, rugged, accurate, reliable, and have a lifetime guarantee. Find out more and order a free catalog today at henryusa.com. That's henryusa.com.
Do you want to go saltwater fishing while staying at a luxury lodge and filling the freezer with all sorts of great fish from salmon to halibut to lingcod and more? Well, it's hard to do that anymore in Southeast Alaska, but you can do it with a lot more fish and a lot better price in Canada. Head to Port Hardy at the north end of Vancouver Island and go fishing with hooking them up fishing charters. Go to vanislefishing.com. That's VANISLE fishing.com. Welcome back to America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Kruse. We got more audio for you from the Pacific Northwest Sportsman Show at the Expo Center in Portland, Oregon. It's the second biggest sportsman show in the nation, and it attracts vendors not just from the Northwest, but from all over North America. One of those is David DeCourt. He is the man behind Milton Lake Lodge, located in the far north of Saskatchewan, Canada. David, it's great to have you back on the show again. It's been a while.
I know. It's been a few years. It was COVID years when I was last year.
Yeah, let's not talk about COVID years. That was a bad time for everybody, so we're not going to go down that road. But let's talk about your lodge and your outpost camps. You're way up there in Saskatchewan. What are the fish that folks are catching?
We're focused on northern pike, lake trout, and Arctic grayling.
And how do folks get there?
They fly into Saskatoon, and then we fly them 500 miles north, and then we put them on a 40-minute float plane into the lodge. There's no roads within 70 miles of us. No other people, no other lodges, so we're quite remote.
I like it. I like that a lot. All right. Now, you have grayling, you have northern pike, you have lake trout. Now, I got to tell you, I was up in the Northwest Territories. This was about 20 years ago, not far from where you're at. They didn't have grayling, and I love grayling. Don't get me wrong. They had walleye instead. No walleye where you're at?
No, it's when the Barella Forest breaks into the Canadian Shield, it changes and the temperature starts dropping and the water temperature. So you get more abundance of lake trout and the walleye start moving out, and then you get northerns as well.
What's the best time of year to go fishing there?
Well, we're only open June through August, so all 3 months are great. June is kind of a lot of people's favorite for northern pike because you can catch them very shallow in 1 to 3 feet of water. The lake trout are mixed in with them. And then as you come July, the northern pike go deeper into the cabbage, and the lake trout stack up in holes, but they're stacked up like cordwood, and then you can just vertical jig and catch one after the other. And then August, it stays pretty similar to July, but as you move towards later August, they start moving back again. And the lake trout, when we get into September, will start to spawn.
Let's talk about lures, and we'll actually start off with grayling. Now, Arctic grayling, I love them. There's only one lake in the home state I live in Washington State, really tough to get to. It is one heck of a hike where you find Arctic grayling. It's catch and release only. I know in northern parts of Canada and in Alaska, there's plenty of grayling. and you've got them too. Are you mainly having fly anglers going after them?
We have both. So a lot of people come to our lodge, and it's kind of a bucket list fish for a lot of people, especially fly fishing. So we catch them on 3-weight fly rods or ultralight spinning. So you can use little spinners for the ultralight or flies, either dry or sinking. So both all work.
What's an average grayling, and how big do they get?
So an average grayling is probably between 12 to 16 inches.
That's a good grayling.
And then a big grayling is anything over like 16 inches and above. That's a pretty good size grayling.
I would agree with you on that. Let's talk pike. You know, it's something a lot of folks in the Northwest don't have a lot of experience with. They're definitely toothy. You don't want to lip them, folks, that's for sure. But they put up a great fight. They are like freshwater barracudas.
Oh, we love the fishing for the pike. The fly fishermen love it as well because they come in June and you can sight cast to them. They're in our shallow flats, and we have plenty of sheltered bays that you can just look over there in the weeds and you see a bunch of them moving, and you throw top waters at them and you see a big wake explode on them. It's great fun, and we catch some monsters up there. These fish are very old. Some of the older fish, you know, our lodge record is a 51 and a quarter. Happened to be me. I got lucky with that one.
Love it. And that is pike of a lifetime, to be sure. You know, the last time I was up in the Northwest Territories, we were throwing the standard 5 diamonds and big daredevil spoons. And I had my best luck with like a perch-colored crocodile spoon, even though there's no perch up there. So I'm guessing spoons work as well?
Yeah, we use a number of things. You do use the daredevils, but Dr. Spoon seems to be one of our go-to lures now. In Fire Tiger, Orange and Copper. The Orange and Copper is what caught the 51, so that's kind of a go-to for me. And we have one that's kind of a white color. It's great as well. But this June is fabulous for throwing topwaters. I threw topwaters all this last year in June, and I even caught lake trout on topwater in like 3 feet of water. So that's a lot of fun. We'll throw plastics. We'll throw just various sorts of glide baits. Everything seems to work on the toothy critters. They're very aggressive.
Nice. And you've got the lake trout, too. I've got to ask, most of your anglers, are they catch and release anglers, or are they bringing some back for a shore lunch or for dinner?
Most are catch and release. You know, we get a lot of people that come up there, they want the traditional shore lunch, but many now, they just want to spend more time fishing, and they want the chef to make them a sandwich, whatever, and spend the day out there fishing, because you come all this way north, you might as well enjoy yourself versus sitting down and waiting on the campfire to build for a shore lunch. But a lot of people love the shore lunch as well. And we do a shore dinner occasionally, which is different, so people can have the whole day to fish, come back on a special island. We do a shore dinner and have mussels and wine so they have a good time, and then come back to the lodge and have a dessert.
Sounds fabulous. So let's talk about the accommodations. So you've got the main lodge. Tell our listeners about that.
So the main lodge is like a 4,500 square foot lodge, A-frame building, beautiful glass looking out. We've got all the amenities you need, and we've got flat screen TV. We've got foosball, darts. All our outfits have Starlink, and the accommodations are very nice. We've just renovated the guest suites. The guest suites are 3-bedroom suites with 2 full baths in there. So if you're a couple, we let you have the whole suite. Do what you want with the 3 bedrooms. But that's what we do. And it's got a sitting room in there also. And they're all right next to the main lodge. So you walk out your door, walk down a little walkway, and you can walk into the main lodge.
Absolutely love that. Now, you've got a mini lodge, too. Is that also on Milton Lake?
No, that's on a lake called Misakuma. Misakuma is a pike factory, is what we call it. It's a darker stained lake, and the accommodations there will hold up to 11 people. I have a camp manager there. Takes care of boats, motors, and he'll cook for you. So it makes it a little easier on a lot of the guests that, you know, they want to come up there, they want to do their own guiding, but they don't necessarily want to cook.
Gotcha. So the lodge is for guided trips.
Yes.
The mini lodge is for self-guided. And you've got an outpost camp on a different lake, and this is for the true self-guided person.
Yes, that's on Walker Lake. It will sleep 6, but we think it's more comfortable for 4 because there's 2 boats there, so better for 2 people in a boat. And it's very similar. It's a 1-contained cabin that has all the amenities in it. You know, you got Starlink, I got a flat screen TV in there. You got hot showers, flush toilets, so it's all nice. But yes, it's self-guided. But trust me, you don't need a guide to catch fish there. I tried it out. We just opened it up last year, and I went there for the first time, and I caught my first trophy there in 5 minutes.
Wow. Trophy pike, I presume?
Trophy pike, yes. But I caught a laker that was approaching a trophy about an inch short about 5 minutes after that. So
I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. So let's talk pricing. You are in Canada, so that means it's a bargain compared to Alaska.
So pricing depends on the location you're going. So Walker's our cheapest option, and then the Lodge more expensive. So we start out, these are for 7 full days of fishing, $36.95 US per person for Walker, Misakuma $39.95, and Milton $52.95.
I'll tell you what, folks, for 7 full days of fishing, that is one heck of a deal. You got to get yourself to Saskatchewan. They're going to take it from there. You're going to be taken care of in terms of food and lodging. Lodging only at the outpost camp, obviously. But if you're looking for an opportunity to catch a whole bunch of big pike and lake trout and some really nice-sized grayling, Milton Lake Lodge is a place to go. What's the website folks should go to?
MiltonLakeLodge.com.
That's MiltonLakeLodge.com. Milton Lake Lodge, located in northern Saskatchewan. If you want to stretch your dollars and have a luxury fishing event, go to MiltonLakeLodge.com and book today, because he will book up soon, because he's at these sportsman shows and he's getting lots of clients signed up. Again, MiltonLakeLodge.com. David, thanks for sharing this with us today on America Outdoors Radio.
Pleasure to be here.
Well, now that you've got some great advice about catching crappie, hopefully you can go out there and catch a whole mess of them. And when you do, you know you're going to have to clean them. And the job gets a lot easier if you have a sharp fillet knife. And how do you sharpen it? Well, with a knife sharpener from WorkSharp. You can either use an electric model. They've got a whole line of kitchen knife sharpeners. I've got one on my counter that I use all the time on my cutlery, including my fillet knife. And I've got a guided field sharpener that I use when I'm out in the field. So if you're at the fish cleaning station or just on the bank of the river or the lake, that works just fine too. Either way, WorkSharp makes your life easier on the water and when you get off the water and need to clean those fish. So look for electric and manual knife sharpeners from WorkSharp at their website at worksharptools.com or at quality sporting goods stores all over the United States. The website again, worksharptools.com.
Explore the Dalles, the hub where discovery and history come together. Whether the Northwest is your home or you're on an adventure, the Dalles welcomes you. Just 80 miles east of Portland is the perfect year-round escape with a community that cares about you. 300 days of sun, breathtaking outdoor recreation, and a downtown full of the unexpected. Oh, and the rich history that began before the Oregon Trail. Start planning at explorethedalles.com.
When you think of Henry Repeating Arms, you likely think of their American-made classic lever-action rifles and beautiful Golden Boy and Tribute Edition rifles. It doesn't stop there, though. Henry also has the Henry Long Ranger and lever-action Supreme models, as well as their big boy revolvers, the 9mm Homesteader carbine, and the venerable AR-7 survival rifle. Check out the entire line of Henry Repeating Arms firearms and find an authorized dealer near you at henryusa.com.
Are you looking to reel in the marketing opportunity of a lifetime? Then set the hook, because we've got it right here for you. America Outdoors Radio has sponsorships available, and we offer affordable platforms to reach thousands of listeners interested in fishing, hunting, and the outdoors. Find out more by contacting John Kruse through his website at americaoutdoorsradio.com.
A sharp blade makes short work of any project you have in the outdoors, in the kitchen, or in the shop. Hone your knives and tools with quality power and manual sharpeners from WorkSharp. Find out more at worksharptools.com.
There's enormous frustration right now with healthcare costs. It is amazing. Healthcare costs for families in the last 20 years have almost tripled, and it just keeps getting worse. All this to say, this is why MediShare is so in demand right now. People are looking for alternatives. And MediShare is proven you can save thousands of dollars a year and actually like it more. Over 1 million Americans are now part of healthcare sharing, and MediShare is the gold standard. It's trusted. It works. It's been helping people save money and have peace of mind now for 30 plus years. It's not some big impersonal thing either. It's a community of people like you helping each other. So yeah, if you're frustrated too, here's your chance to make a refreshing change. You'll notice the difference as soon as you call. They're easy to talk to. You can get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number. Call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Welcome back to America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Kruse. We've got audio for you recorded at the big Pacific Northwest Sportsman Show in Portland, Oregon. Ran across a very well-known British Columbia lodge. It's Joe's Salmon Lodge. And with us here to tell you more, not only about the lodge, but also about a special derby they've got coming up in September is Mike Matthews. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, John. It's a pleasure to be here.
So let's talk about where you're located. Now, a lot of Canadian saltwater lodges are located on Vancouver Island. You're located on the mainland, aren't you?
So actually, that's my number one question I get is we're actually located north of Vancouver Island. So we fly you into Bella Bella from Vancouver, Canada, and then we take you on a water taxi to our lodge. So it's actually more north than people realize. We're in between Bella Bella and Port Hardy, and Port Hardy is the north end of Vancouver Island.
Right, and I fished that several times over the years. So you're actually on an island then?
Yes, sir, we sure are.
Any other lodges on your island?
No. There's only 3 lodges in our area. It's called Hawkeye Pass. And there's us and 2 other lodges. So we are very remote for sure.
All right, let's talk about the fishing. Now, one great thing about British Columbia fishing compared to Southeast Alaska fishing is the retention limits. For example, last year, if you were on a charter boat in Southeast Alaska between July and about the 9th of August, you could not keep a single king salmon. And a lot of folks go up to BC and Alaska to catch some big hog king salmon. Your limits are a lot more liberal, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You're allowed up in Canada or in our area 4 kings. You can keep 2 per day, 4 for your trip. And then in addition to that, coho, you could do 4 per day. You can do no more than 4 salmon per day with 2 being kings. So if you do happen to not catch kings and catch 4 coho in the day, you can keep that. Your total limits for our trip are 8. Which would be 4 kings, and then 4 coho would be the ultimate salmon limit up there.
So let's talk halibut. How many halibut do you get to catch, and how big can you keep them?
So you're only allowed 1 halibut, and it is about 40 pounds or less. So the big boys, you're not allowed to keep them. But most of those, the 40 pounds and under are the chickens, and that's what people are after. I usually encourage people to, instead of targeting the halibut, is to go after our lingcod, because our lingcod limits are very nice. You're allowed 3 lingcod per day and 6 for your trip. So go after your lingcod, and there's a chance you'll run into your halibut, and fishing 90 feet for a halibut is much more attractive than 300.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And I'm used to fishing that 200 to 300 foot depth. And yeah, just reeling it up, especially when you got a fish on, that's a lot of work. So I love the fact that you're shallow water halibut fishing. And folks, if you've never had lingcod before, a lot of folks, and I'll be honest, myself included, prefer lingcod to halibut. It is a delicious white meat. It is very mild flavor. It's absolutely delicious. And the fact that you can keep 6, that's way more than you'll be able to keep in Southeast Alaska. So just another reason to fish in BC. Another reason we should talk about is the price. The exchange rate in Canada is definitely in Americans' favor, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Our rate is $3,700, and that includes everything other than your bar bill and your fishing license. You do have Canadian taxes and an Indian fee on top of that, as we do lease our land of where our lodge is located at. But again, $3,700, you get to Vancouver, Canada, and we'll take care of you from there.
And that's $3,700 US for basically a 5-day trip with 3.5 days of fishing.
That's correct.
All right. Well, that sounds great. And that is definitely a lot less than you're going to find at a lot of the luxury Alaska lodges, that's for sure. So let's talk a little bit about the lodge that you have there and the accommodations.
So our lodge has been around for 40 years. We actually floated up from the Fraser River in Vancouver up to our leased property up in Hawkeye Pass. It's the same location. And then once you're there, like I said, it's a 5-day trip. Everything's included, meals. You'll have either a 2 or 3 bedroom room, and then you'll have a boat as well. We'll lead you out, or we'll have a meeting kind of the night before over dinner, kind of discuss people's preferences, whether you want to bottom fish first or you want to start off with the salmon. And then the fish master will lead the majority of the group out to the grounds and then, let our guests do their magic out there. We are very local, or I should say we do have some very local spots that are literally within 5 minutes of our lodge. So all of our boats are equipped with radios, GPS, and sounders. So safety is the utmost. And if someone leaves, we encourage someone to pick up the radio and say, we're leaving. Does anyone want to follow?
Gotcha. So this is a self-guided trip.
Yes, it is. It is. We do have guides available, but for the most part, these are people that know how to fish already, and they just need to be put on the grounds. And like I said, they can do their own magic out there.
Let's talk about processing the fish once they're caught.
Yeah, so once your fish are caught, you'll come back to the lodge. You'll be met by one of our dock guys. Each one of our guests have a tag that's associated with them throughout the trip. So your fish will be tagged with your number. We'll get the pictures done, and then after that, the boys will fillet your fish. They'll put them, vacuum seal them, and then we'll put them in a freezer and start your fish box there. So you'll be going home with your fish that you caught in your fish box at your end of your trip.
That's nice. I've been on trips before where it's shared, and you might catch the only king on the trip, and you come back and you've only got a couple fillets because you're sharing with everybody else. That's nice to hear. You catch it, you keep it. Got just a couple minutes left. I want to talk about this salmon derby you've got in early September.
So we're having our first annual salmon derby, our last trip of the year, kind of like a celebration of the year. And so what we'll do is we're actually going to have, it's a 3-day tournament with payouts every single day. So I'll have a first, second, and third place every single day. Every angler is allowed to enter 1 fish per day. And then we'll also have a payout for big fish of the tournament. So per day, our payouts will be over $1,000 combined. And then the big fish will be over $1,000 as well. Now I am limiting that to only 25 guests. So it's kind of an exclusive event for my guys who have been around that kind of strut around the dock, and let's come out there and, show what you can and win some money to go with it.
How much does it cost to enter?
So it's $3,000 US to enter that, which is down $700 from our normal rate. And the reason, like I said, it's more of just a celebration. And actually with that $3,000, I'm going to take $500 of that and put that in the pot for these guys, for their distribution of their winnings.
Well, that's a great deal, folks. You're getting $700 off your trip, and you get to compete in a fishing tournament. And, don't just get bragging rights, but you can take home some cash as well. So the dates for this tournament, September 1st through September 5th, is at Joe's Salmon Lodge. If you want to find out more, go to joesalmonlodge.com, joesalmonlodge.com. Book a trip today, whether it be in the summer for all these species of fish or whether it be for the tournament where you're fishing for a big salmon. It's going to be a ton of fun. You're going to be well taken care of, and the price is right. Mike, thanks so much, and I appreciate you being on America Outdoors Radio.
Thank you very much, John. I appreciate it.
If you're looking for things to do this weekend, you've got a few options. Number one, there's always that post-season maintenance when it comes to your hunting rifles or shotguns. Or maybe if you can't let go of waterfowl hunting, there's still snow goose hunting options in a number of states across America right now. You can also sight in your shotgun for the upcoming turkey season and maybe do some pre-season turkey scouting. And every day is a good day for fishing. There's also several sportsman shows, and this weekend you've got a variety to choose from. Starting out in the west, you've got the Central Oregon Sportsman Show at the Deschutes County Fairgrounds in Redmond. That runs through Sunday, and if you're in the market for an RV, they've got a bunch of them on sale and on display there. Another show going on in the western U.S. is the Idaho Sportsman Show. That one's happening this weekend through Sunday at Expo Idaho in Boise. And heading to Fargo in the Fargo Dome, the 61st annual Red River Valley Sportsman Show is also going off through Sunday. Looking further ahead, the Bighorn Outdoor Adventure Show, put on by the Inland Northwest Wildlife Council, is happening at the fairgrounds in Spokane. The dates, March 19th through the 22nd. There's going to be some 200 exhibitors there, definitely a quality show. And if you want a bigger show, well, head to Toronto. That's right, north of the border, the Toronto Sportsman Show is also happening March 29th through the 22nd at the International Center. This is billed as Canada's biggest outdoor show with over 300 exhibitors. And on that note, it is time to go. If you didn't hear the whole show, just look for America Outdoors Radio wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll be loading up this edition of the show soon. Until next time, here's hoping you are healthy. Here's hoping you're blessed. And do remember this: it is your country and your outdoors, so get out there and enjoy it.